Shane bought this Jeep, which, man, I didn't even remember when he bought this thing. I just went with him to go buy it. So we brought it over to Memo, because at the time it was me and Memo. We had that shop, and I was just doing the mechanic work, and he was doing most of the body, and he's, oh yeah, I'll do it. To be honest, I don't even remember how much he charged it, but I'm pretty sure it was not like cheap work. He used to have a saying, good work ain't cheap and cheap work ain't good. Well, he got paid, most definitely that. And as we saw with our Fox body as well too, so because I'm probably gonna have to get the grinder really good in here. It's quite a bit of rust, man. I mean, it's 2002. This thing is supposed to be powder coated. Crazy. You know, it's a nice humid day, so you got hippo skin and it's all nice and moist, and this is what rust looks on you. Yeah, there you go. Then you walk around with raccoon face like me. My objective really on my Jeep was just to knock off the chunky part of the rust, get down to some metal, you know, even get down some of the surface rust that was on there, because when I did all the work to it this past winter, I was able to knock off a good amount. I had my buddy go ahead and just do it as I was doing the transmission. So once we did that, I just drove it around for a little bit, messed up on me, sat it down, and of course, as we know, when you leave bare metal in the Midwest, it turns into this great, awesome rust. And so now we just finished off taking off most of the chunky stuff that is on there, and pretty much just grounded off whatever that surface rust we had on there. So the objective was just to kind of get all that off, which is now what I'm wearing, and you know, now I can put a little bit of POR 15 on there, and I'm going to use the vacuum, clean off as much dust as I can, use a rag, kind of clean off as much as we can, and then POR 15 on all the bare metal that we just exposed. That way it stays nice and, you know, paint it. And then I'm going to eventually come back, take off some more things. I plan to do some changes with the differentials. I plan to go Dana 44s instead of the 33s that it has. I plan to do a couple other things, so I know that I'm going to come back and I'm going to remove this. Like I said, the lift kit's okay, but I'm not ecstatic about it, so I'm in the market of looking for something a little bit better that's not as squeaky or as rickety as this thing is. Because I mean, you're driving and it's just noises everywhere. I don't know. I don't think I'm that smart.
What lift kit you got on?
So right now what I have is a 3.5 Tough Country lift kit that I bought on sale, and bought it brand new. But ever since I got it, it hasn't, you know, I've had a problem with clearance, and then binding, and then all this rattling and shaking and readjusting, and it's been kind of more of a nightmare than anything. It doesn't, and so I don't know, I'm not too happy about it. I don't know if I'll change up the company or something, or the springs are less than a year old and they're completely rusted. The control arms are less than a year old, they're completely rusted. And so it's just really, it says it's powder coated, obviously it's not. I think it's just painted, and you can see like my springs are all bubbling up, and they're not even a year old. My shocks are all bubbling up, they're not even a year old. Nothing is a year old. So we'll figure out what to do with that. But right, like I said,
when they say POR on rust, POR 15, POR on rust, does that mean you just pour it on rust, or you have to knock off at least the chunky?
Well, you could pour it on the rust if you want, if that's what you want to do. Just pour it on the rust. That's what it stands for, is pour on rust. But on the can itself it says to give it a helping hand, is just knock off some of that rust, which is what we did. Knock off as much of it to give it a helping, you know, to give it a fighting chance to hold on to the metal itself, because as you guys know, put the stuff on the frame, on bare frame, you can use the etching primer on there, which works just as good. I'm not going to do that because I'm underneath my car and I'm not going to be spraying all over the place, since I can brush it on there. But it'll bind just as good, but it does a little bit better with your etching primer on there. But then it'll just bind to the metal just as good if you just make sure you get off enough of that chunk and enough of that rust, or the surface rust, get enough of that can off. Take some time with it, you know. I'm doing it in sections. I got the most of a can that's superficially visual right now, and then I'm going to go into some deeper stuff because, again, like I said, I'm going to be doing some extra work to it. So like I said, you want to give that POR 15 some extra, or POR 15, you want to give that a real good fighting chance to the rust or to your frame, or give your frame a longer longevity. I would suggest give yourself a couple hours, knock off the rust. If you need to do it in sections, go ahead and do it in sections, because it's going to be worth it. You're not going to spend 60 or 160 bucks for a can or a gallon of this stuff and then come back couple months later after the winter time and it's already bubbled up again and it's coming off and it's chipping up and you're going to have to redo the work. So do yourself a favor, man. As my dad used to say, el huevón trabaja doble, which means a lazy man works twice.
Don't forget our oil.
Yeah. Out there. Laid out a really quick disclaimer. I'm not going to promise this POR 15 is going to open like it did the first time that I did it, and you know, Mano Negra was there as a witness. For those of you guys that don't know, man, when you open POR 15, it takes like a little bit of a struggle, and then you end up tearing up the cans, and man, you know, it's a good day when that does not happen. I don't know why it is. I've had theories that the bottom lip is expanded at the bottom or some garbage. I don't know, man, but every time we try to open these things, POR 15 is kind of like the death of it. You have to use this whole $50 can right now, because if not, or $60 can, because if not, you know, it's useless. It's like a stone tomorrow. But man, it's a good day today, even with a little overcast. All right, let's get started. You saw it opened cleanly. The same can, I resealed cleanly. The reason I'm saying this is because, as we all know out here in Carland, and for all of us that do our own work, and you mess with POR 15 because you want to salvage your frame and whatnot and everything good, so you make sure it beads water off when it needs to and it doesn't sit there, whatnot. Whatever reason you use POR 15, we use it because we hate rust. It keeps rust off. It works good. It's a proven product. And one of the things that a lot of people that I've talked to, we really complain about POR 15, which is, even though it's a beautiful can and everything, you know, it's the fact that the top mushrooms out. For some forsaken reason, you mangle this thing, and so you got to use up this quart today, and it's very hard for you to reseal it, because then you're going to get about a layer about that thick of POR 15 that's frozen now, and then you only get about that much left over on a $50 can. So I'll give you guys a quick tutorial on how I did it and how I believe it worked, because as you can tell, it's clean. And believe me, we were painting the 78 Trans Am Mr. Mano Negra and myself, and we were trying to keep that lid clean, and we did. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So this is not a new can. This is a used can. So follow with me, guys. What I did, I just took a regular size screwdriver, put it in here, and as I turned inward, I pulled up just a little bit. Once I let go, and I went around doing that. And I try not to mar it as much, just kind of shift the whole thing. And that's how I kind of did it. You could see, like, it's kind of coming out, but it's starting to give me some trouble this time around. So I'm just being real careful, because I know it takes a little longer, but believe me, man, you save some Por 15. And as we all know, this stuff is not cheap. So as I turn, I kind of twist up on that little ridge, but not too much that I want to destroy it. And I just kind of go around doing that. That's what I do. And I hope to prove that that works. Is it working? Slowly but surely.
It's coming out. It's coming out.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, it's not as clean as the first time, and definitely, it's like the can got smarter. Those engineers at Por 15 really know what they're doing.
It's coming out.
And I guess that's just what you do with every can, but the first time it came out with very less work. See, I think I got it out. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I did it the other time, so. But I think this is you guys could see earlier that it was a lot cleaner. But right now, it has battled me, and it's probably because it caught a layer somewhere. It won't be the prettiest, but it sure as hell won't be marred up so bad. As much as we know what happens here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to try this with a new can and see what the difference is. Cause that was a brand new can when I opened it, right? First time. Almost out, or maybe I'm just lying to myself.
It's almost not out. It's almost like you need something slimmer to go in that. There you go.
It's almost out now. But like I tell you, man, it wasn't.
I can see the gap.
It's getting there, man, but it was cleaner the first time. It just, that thing was clean. I can see the bottom of it already. So it must have like a film in there. 'Cause I think,
Almost there.
yeah.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, see, no, I think it's sealed at the bottom. Next time we'd have to clean the cap a lot better. But I'm telling you, like, it came off with ease the first time, so. Coming off, so the Por 15 actually created a different seal on the inside of it. But
look at how.
bam,
But
that wasn't too bad. I mean, it's not,
But look at how. Look at how.
You see, that's good, man. They get sealed right here.
Yeah, but look inside the ain't that hard because it's nicely sealed. You see that?
Yeah. That's good
And
stuff.
you have used this before.
So yeah, so it's still a win. Okay. These are the other pieces I'm gonna do. So nice and liquidy, and it's not a hard shell, so we didn't lose any Port 15. You know, look at that, bam.
This thing is like liquid gold.
This is liquid gold,
Okay.
baby. Just Texas dab a little bit here, let it run out a little bit, and then just go directly to the frame. I'm gonna take my time because it's hot already, and I'm out of beer. And then, there we go, just, you know, slather it on. There it is, Port 15, you know, so might as well. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it look somewhat nice, because I don't wanna also waste it. So, yeah,
Expensive.
it's expensive, man. This is expensive shit. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. You know, we ain't rich here, man. You know, the viewership ain't paying us like that. And don't be afraid to get it on this too, Blake. It's spreading pretty nicely. I'm not gonna lie. I still have some adjustment to do. I'm just gonna put on the rims because I have them sitting here, and I don't want them just sitting there. But I'm gonna put them on now, clean them up, make them look all sorts of pretty and whatnot, shall we? Tires are gonna go in the front. Gonna get them hand tight right now. I'm gonna go ahead and change out the wheel studs, do an adjustment. All right, now you guys saw me kind of wrestle it off because the little rim of Port 15 was still on there, and it sealed it, did its job, sealed it. So right now what I just did, it was a little high up, and I just kind of brought it down, just kind of edged it all the way around, and you know, it's in. So we're gonna find out if that's all it needs, so it doesn't crystallize on us or get hard on us or whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and just, I think we did a pretty decent job. A little indentation here and there, but it's not too bad. I mean, hell, it's gonna be the third time we open it. Let me see some of you guys open it on the first time you use it again. Port 15 commercial.